This is Obsidian ASMR. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. Hey, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video. And today we'll be looking at part 5, which is episodes 53 through to 65. Some people may have grown up watching this, or watched it when it first came out, but for those of you that didn't watch part 4, we're in the middle of the Future Trunks arc, and with it, we've been introduced to Goku Black, a warrior from Future Trunks' timeline that's seemingly an evil version of Goku. However, I do think there is a gaping plot hole in this, which is Goku died in Future Trunks' timeline during the Android Saga, and I did say that last time, but let's get into it. So the warriors of the past must rewrite the future. Following their first encounter with Goku Black, the Saiyan trio are itching to dish out some payback. It's a mystery as to why Black has a time ring, so it's off to the 10th universe for a discussion with the Supreme Kai and his suspiciously well-mannered apprentice. Meanwhile, Earth's attacker continues to wreak havoc in the future. How could the Kais possibly tie in with someone as evil as Goku Black? Everyone's lives are on the line, and it's up to the Z-Fighters to either face the problem head-on or try to alter the timeline at the source. Interesting. So with this one we've got another 12 episodes, and he will be a big part of this, no doubt. So we start off here with episode 53, Uncover Black's Identity, off to the 10th universe's world of the Kais. From what I remember with this one, it's Goku, Beerus, and Whis that travel, and they go and meet a Supreme Kai who is actually given the name Gowasu, and he has an apprentice called Zamasu. Now I don't know whether it's Gowasu or just Goas, because it's Zamasu, not Zamasu, I think. Anyway, Zamasu doesn't really like ordinary mortals. He's a bit of a snob. But wouldn't you know it, Goku challenges him to a sparring match, because why not? And initially Goas objects. And Beerus kind of is like, don't hold back, Goku cannot handle himself. But Zamasu is initially completely outmatched, as per usual, by Goku. And Beerus and Whis on the fact that Zamasu's energy signature is similar to that of Goku Black. But Zamasu has no recollection of meeting Goku, and the time ring that Goku Black is wearing is seemingly in Gowasa's possession. So this sets in motion the plot, and if you think about it, you can kind of understand what's happening. But after that, the three of them, Goku, Beerus and Whis, return to their universe, unaware that the actions that they took in the 10th universe have only strengthened Zamasu's viewpoints, his ideology, his convictions. And at the end of the episode, we get a nice little bit of fan service where Krillin introduces Future Trunks to his family and Android 18, who obviously Future Trunks viewed as a villain and in need of destruction, teases Future Trunks over that. Episode 54 is He Who Is of Saiyan Blood, Trunks' Resolve. And effectively, this is about Bulma rebuilding the time machine. But while she's doing that, Vegeta and Future Trunks have some time on their hands. So, this being Dragon Ball, they choose to have a sparring match. But Vegeta quickly wins, having gone Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Vegeta, though, doesn't understand why Trunks is happy for Vegeta to be stronger than him, and same with Goku, really. And he kind of gives him a fatherly lecture where he says, it's a Saiyan's duty to continually strive for growth and to become stronger and always be well prepared for a new existential threat, which makes sense, really, because Vegeta's seen his home world blown up by Frieza, so that would make you want to continually prepare for war, if so required. But then, halfway through the episode, we go back to Beerus's planet, which is making quite the number of appearances, where Beerus and Whis have their dinner interrupted by Zeno. So I've done it again. Zeno, who wants to see Goku. Then we skip back to the 10th universe, where Gowas attempts to have Zamasu reconsider his views on mortals. And he does that by testing Zamasu as a Supreme Kai to see what he'd do. And they use the time ring to observe this race over the course of 1,000 years in an attempt to try to get Zamasu to see the beauty of a civilization's progress. But does it work, though? Episode 55 is I'd Like to See Goku. You see a summons from the Grand Zeno. There you go, said it. Carrying on from the previous episode, in the 10th universe, Gowas can't change Zamasu's perspective. kills one of the members of the civilization that they've gone and started to observe over that millennium, leading to Zamasu getting told off by Goas. Because they have to maintain the balance, the fine balance in the universe as Supreme Guys, which does tie in with our own Supreme Guy. But Zamasu's like doubling down on the view that mortals are evil, and they need to be exterminated to keep justice. So, when I was watching this, I thought, he can't be the bad guy. It's just too obvious. They're flagging it up way too much. But we'll have to wait and see. Bear that in mind, though. So in the 7th universe, Whis and Beerus get Goku to go and see Zeno. But they tell Goku, don't say anything about Goku Black. Keep it quiet. So, effectively, a destroyer, we find out that a destroyer, universal destroyer, can be killed, or they disappear if their Supreme Kai is killed. So obviously for us that's Shen. So Beerus is like, make sure that Shen is fine. And they all reach Zeno's palace. And it turns out Zeno is quite lonely, being the super kami guru, or whatever. Universal super entity. So he just wants a friend, and to have fun and not to have this great mantle on his shoulders. But so he says to Goku, I just want to play around, but if you need to leave, you can, as long as you promise to return with a better friend for him to play with. So he also gives Goku this button to summon him back if Zeno wishes, and that's summon Goku back if Zeno wishes. So they all leave, head back to Earth where Bulma has finally fixed the time machine, which promptly leads Goku, Vegeta and future Trunks to use the time machine and arrive in future Trunks' alternate timeline. As soon as they arrive though, Goku is attacked by Earth's resistance force, who obviously mistake him for Goku Black. Easy mistake to make, they could have thought he was Turles either. So in episode 56, which is Rematch with Goku Black, enter Super Saiyan Rose. Guess who turns up? You guessed it. Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black. So in this one, picking up where we left off, future Trunks explains who Goku and Vegeta are and that they're allies, and he reunites with future Mai. But quickly, Goku Black arrives and starts attacking them. In the midst of all that, future Yajirobe, who I loved to see get a moment in the sun, was senzu bean that Corrin had gave to him. A bit lazy, but there you go. They got themselves out of the plot hole. What can I say? I'm not a big fan of that. Anyway, Vegeta wins a game of rock, paper, scissors. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. Paper. And he calls out Black and immediately starts fighting him in Super Saiyan Blue form. But due to the previous fight between Goku Black and Goku, Black was able to master his powers quite like Frieza did to become Golden Frieza. But in this circumstance, he's able to transform into a pink-haired Super Saiyan called Super Saiyan Rose, which is even more powerful than Super Saiyan Blue. So Vegeta gets critically wounded, being stabbed through his chest, I think, with a hand. Basically, Goku Black has this like rose thing, hand stabby thing, and he uses that. Obviously this leads Goku to jump in the middle of the fight. Just as, basically, like Vegeta also turns around and says, yeah, he's got an advantage over you too. So, at the end of the episode, Goku Black is readying a Kamehameha until Zamasu, out of nowhere, intervenes. And he reveals himself to be Goku Black's partner, while reminding Black that he is supposed to kill Goku. That leads to episode 57, a god with an invincible body. The advent of Zamasu. So, you guessed it, he's the bad guy. And they couldn't have made it more obvious. The thing I loved about the Cell Saga was you had a kind of who is the bad guy storyline, where originally it was Shiro and Android 19, then it was Android 17 and 18, and then finally you got Cell. Kept you guessing, which is good. Anyway, the obvious villain, Zamasu, calls himself and Goku Black kindred spirits, both desiring a utopia without mortals, before they both launch an attack on Goku. Future Trunks jumps in to help, but if the battle starts, basically. During that battle, Zamasu reveals that he's made his body indestructible to all forms of attack, while grabbing Goku and Future Trunks, so that Black can take them out with a Kamehameha, which is quite like, or reminiscent to Goku grabbing Raditz. So Piccolo could use his special beam cannon. It's a harken back, but obviously Zamasu wouldn't die because of his invincibility. Yeah, the two of them get saved by Vegeta, who is badly wounded. And then the three of them get taken to a safe location by future Yajirobe, who I'm just going to call Yajirobe from now on. Future Mai and the Resistance soldiers intervene and rescue Vegeta to stop Black and Zamasu killing him in their anger. And then the three of them return to their timeline using the time machine with the tail between their legs. Mai and Yajirobe are left behind. But then we go to the 10th universe in the present, where the past version of Zamasu, or the present version at that point in time, sees a recording of the 6th and 7th universe tournament, and kind of expresses his disdain or disgust that Goku can use divine energy, which he thinks should only be for the gods, not the mortals. He also gets a glimpse at the Super Dragon Balls and is a little bit fascinated, which leads to episode 58, which is Zamasu and Black. The duo's mystery deepens. So Zamasu travels to Zeno's planet to force him to tell him about the Dragon Balls, the Super Dragon Balls. Goku, meanwhile, along with Vegeta and future Trunks, are being nursed by Bulma at Capsule Corp. And then Beerus and Whis and Shin arrive and tell them about Zamasu's visit to go see Zeno. The gang tell Beerus and Whis about their experiences in the future, which prompts Whis to theorize that Zamasu's used the Super Dragon Balls, forgive me, to create an ally in Goku's form, and later an indestructible body. But Beerus isn't convinced, saying, yeah, that makes some sense, but how did Goku Black get the time ring? And why is his energy matching Zamasu's? Trunks then says, well, Zamasu could have killed Zamasu to become the Supreme Guy, and gave Goku Black the time ring. To which Shin then takes Goku, Beerus and Whis to Universe 10 to see if that theory is correct. Beerus decides to inquire about Zamasu's behaviour with Goas. But Goas is like, he doesn't want to become a Supreme Kai. But doesn't possess any kind of initial concerns. And then episode 59, Protect the Supreme Kai, Goas destroys Zamasu. The conversation continues with Goas, where they talk over some green tea. And Whis apologises for disturbing him and Zamasu as they're about to leave. But just before they do, they sense Zamasu's murderous intention. So they leave, but they observe from a distance, from outer space in fact. They do then see Zamasu murder Goas, but Whis reverses time to avert Goas's death. This enrages Zamasu, who then leaps at Goku to attack him, swoop atomizes the guy, disintegrates him. Future Trunks is actually spending time at this point with his younger version, and his younger version is trying to instill some more confidence and self-assurance into Future Trunks, and it does tend to work. And it's at that point Future Trunks learns that present-day Zamasu has been destroyed. Beerus also believes that all future versions of Zamasu would also cease to exist, regardless of the alternate timelines. Not quite so, though, because Zamasu and Goku Black are still discussing their Project Zero Mortals plan, as they call it, and the irony that it was only possible because of Immortal's power. Episode 60 is Into the Future again. Goku Black's true identity revealed. And in this one, Beerus is still sure that he's solved the crisis by killing present Zamasu, but the others are more skeptical, which is a good ASMR word. Skeptical, 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 skeptical. So he wants to go and see for himself, to make sure the future is safe, which I don't blame him. They've had it rough. Yeah, so they all head out in the time machine, and they arrive to find that absolutely nothing has changed. But they manage to regroup with the Resistance, and Future Trunks uses a senzu bean to heal Mai. Goku and Vegeta, at this point, sense that Zamasu and Goku Black are locked in on their location and moving in fast. And Goku goes to confront them, calling out Black as a clone created by Zamasu, using the Super Dragon Balls, which of course was one of the theories. And then we finally understand what's gone on, because Black reveals himself to actually be Zamasu, explaining that he used the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with another version of Goku before killing him. So think Captain Ginyu on steroids, and you wouldn't be too far away. Just kind of proves that Captain Ginyu was the GOAT. You know what I mean? Episode 61, Zamasu's ambition, the storied Project Zero Mortals of Terror. So this episode is a lot of exposition and detailing of their plan. You know, kind of typical evil villain kind of plan. But effectively here, Goku Black explains that he is actually Zamasu from a pre-altered main timeline where he succeeded in killing Gowas, and the time ring allows him to be unaffected by his past self's death. Gives him immunity from those events. The other Zamasu, the non-Goku Black, Zamasu, then reveals himself to be the Zamasu of future Trunks' timeline, whom Goku Black was allied with as they destroyed the Super Dragon Balls after using them to grant that Zamasu invincibility. They then proceeded to kill all the other deities so they could not interfere in their goal of wiping out all the mortal life across the universe for their ideal utopia. They wanted to leave Earth to the last, so that the humans there had to suffer as long as they could and have an excruciating death, collective death. Wouldn't you know it, a battle breaks out, and Zamasu and Black go the extra mile to provoke Goku into accepting a challenge after Black reveals that he killed Chi-Chi and Goten when he acquired his new body and then killed Goku. The two Zamasus managed to defeat Goku, and then swiftly turned to future Trunks and Vegeta. And effectively they do like this mirror thing where they both say to, at the same time to future Trunks and Vegeta that it's their fault, due to the constant meddling in the timeline, etc. This provokes Trunks to explode in a fit of anger and emotion, and turns into a immensely new Super Saiyan, immensely new powerful new Super Saiyan form. And this is episode 62, which is I Will Defend the World. Trunks' furious burst of superpower. Even with this new transformation, Trunks can only hold them back, while Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma retreat back into the present again. So Goku again is taken for medical treatment, while Vegeta tells everyone what happened in the future Trunks' timeline, as well as divulging who Goku Black is to Beerus and Whis. Beerus is particularly pissed off with this. Effectively, they all meet up to discuss how to defeat Black and Zamasu when Piccolo proposes using the evil containment wave, which was ironically used on Piccolo by Master Roshi, I think, or Master Roshi's master, who I can't remember the name of. I think it was Mutashio. But that's in the Japanese version called the Mafuba. But Goku decides to learn the technique in order to give it a go, while Vegeta does what he always does in these circumstances and goes to train in the hyperbolic time chamber, true to form. You be you, King. Beerus, enraged by what happens, approaches Goas in order to deal with his wayward apprentice. And then episode 63, which is Don't You Disgrace Saiyan Cells. Vegeta's fierce battle commences. So Future Trunks gets saved by the Resistance, and also learns that Mai has found where the two Zamasus hide out. She tries to also snipe Goku Black, but it doesn't work, which then kind of leads Future Trunks to fight the two of them again. Poor Trunks. He's getting so much trouble. And then basically, he tries a self-deletion attack to destroy Zamasu's body. But Goku and Vegeta, healed once more, arrive just in time to save him. But Goku Black this time destroys the time machine so that they can't escape back to the past. Goas appears with Shin in an attempt to try to reason with Zamasu, but neither of them succumb to his polite and logical reasoning, both of them reveling in their actions, and the destruction of the mortals and the other deities. And this kind of tells the audience that a destroyer's death also means that their attendant, in this case Whis, then enters this stasis until a new destroyer either is selected or appears. So Whis isn't dead. In that timeline, he's just in stasis. Then the two Zamasus try to kill Gowasu again, but Goku and Vegeta stop them and start to battle with them again, whilst Bulma, who's followed them to the alternate timeline, begins repairs again on the time machine. That's twice that's been blown up now. Trunks, meanwhile, seeks to repair the sealing urn that Goku's brought with him to perform the Mafuba, or the evil containment wave. Vegeta finally starts to get the upper hand over Black because of his training in the hyperbolic time chamber, and kind of does his Saiyan grandstanding where he's like, you don't deserve that body, you are not a true Saiyan, I am the prince of all Saiyans and you are not true, stuff like that. Tell me if you want me to do a Vegeta roleplay. Kakarot. That kind of thing. Episode 64, the penultimate one, is called Worship Me, Give Praise Unto Me, the Explosive Birth of a Merged Zamasu. So Vegeta keeps dunking on Goku Black, and Goku Black realizes that rage is a key amplifier of a Saiyan's power, and then he uses the method to increase his strength enough to the point where he can cut a rift in space and time. A whole rift, that's mad. So, at this point, Goku Black is fighting both Goku and Vegeta, while Zamasu has basically gone after Trunks, Mai and Bulma to stop the repair of the time machine and to seal them all there with their inevitable fate, shall we say. In one of the most stupid parts of the whole arc, although I have to say, recounting this, it does feel very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, unnecessarily so. But yeah, Bulma gives Trunks this video of Piccolo teaching her how to do the Mafuba, and then tries to flirt her way into buying them time with Zamasu, which is really silly. And obviously she nearly gets killed, but Trunks arrives and successfully uses the Mafuba to trap Zamasu in the jar. But lovable but forgetful heroine Orange has forgotten the charm needed to stabilize the seal. So it allows Zamasu to break free, just as everybody regroups, realizing that there's not much that they can do in their current form to stop the Z Fighters from winning. Goku Black and Zamasu use their Potara earrings to fuse into a new being. And our final episode for today, Final Judgment, the ultimate power of an absolute god. So now that the fused Zamasu, or merged Zamasu, is incredibly more powerful than the two separately, quite like Vegito. He swiftly turns to overpowering Goku and Vegeta and taking a big chunk out of the earth. At this point, Trunks tries to rejoin the fight, but again, he's overpowered by this holy wrath attack by Zamasu. What I will say is it was really cool to see Trunks use a Gallic gun, his father's move, for the first time ever in the series. So I really, really liked that. That's the kind of stuff that makes Super very enjoyable for me. They handle the canon and the history of the show very well, but sometimes the pacing is a bit off. And whilst a lot of people like the Goku Black arc, I do think they did one or two many time jumps and skips and all that kind of stuff. And the mystery wasn't much of a mystery, but there we go. So then we get this incredibly nice moment where Vegeta and Trunks do a father-son Gallic gun, quite like the father-son Kamehameha you see. And that overpowers merged Zamasu, but he does survive, unlike Cell. Boo. Actually he survives and he's barely had any damage, so then Vegeta has to save Trunks from a deadly attack, which again is a nice callback to the Cell saga, where obviously Cell kills Trunks with like one beam through the chest, and that starts Vegeta off in a rage, but this time he saves his son. So again, character growth, I like it. But after saving Trunks, Vegeta gets knocked out. So A+ for effort, C+ for execution. And at the end episode, as Zamasu is charging an attack to kill both Vegeta and Trunks, Goku shoots a Kamehameha to distract, merge Zamasu, and buy them some invaluable time. Speaking of time, that is all we have time for today, tonight, this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you're watching it. So I want to say a heartfelt thank you for choosing to watch this video and listen to me whisper through another 13 episodes of Dragon Ball Super. It's the Christmas period, and I'm sure a lot of the other ASM artists are putting out some great content. So, you know, it means a lot to me that you're sticking here and you're enjoying this. I will be trying to keep up with my schedule. I think I will be. But Sunday's video obviously is going to be Christmas themed because it's Christmas. So, I look forward to that. All that's left for me to say is thank you. If you like the content, give it a like. If you want to comment below, feel free. I try to reply to all of you. And if you would be so kind as to subscribe, it really helps me out, helps the channel out, and it's great to have someone else in our community. I'm really, really proud of this community and each and every one of you that's here. It's a blessing, so thank you. As I've said before, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays. And to all of you, I'm wishing you a restful, relaxing,